Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome back to the show. I hope you're feeling energized. I certainly am. I just had the most delicious cup of tea after the break because, especially after this break, it is time to bring something exciting to our kitchen. And it is Chef Petrina who will be joining us again today. We're going to dive into a dish that is as vibrant as it is delicious. A vegetarian tom yum soup. Imagine the perfect blend of bold flavors and just the right amount of heat. Sounds right? Well, we've got something special lined up for you. You do not need to be a master chef to create this dish particularly. It's all about bringing together simple ingredients and a bit of creativity. So no more waiting. If you are craving something light and full of life, you are in the right place. Let's take over to this live segment of the cooking.
Hello everyone. Welcome back to this segment of cooking. Today I'm going to be cooking vegetarian tom yum soup. You can obviously also make it non-vegetarian if you want to. However, today is vegetarian for me. We have here some water which is already boiling. I've put about a liter of water. It's totally up to you how much water you want to put. Depends on how many people you want to serve as well. And I've got bay leaves, organic bay leaves from my garden. These are medicinal. You can't actually eat them because it's quite hard, but it's just to give a bit of flavor and medicinal as well. So I'm going to add it to the soup itself. Now, before I'm adding to the soup, I'm also just like bending it slightly so to get a bit of the oils out as well and also the flavor as well. So those are the bay leaves. About 6 of those will be great. And I've also got kaffir lime leaves, again from my garden as well, organic. These kaffir lime leaves, unfortunately you can't smell them, but it gives a bit of like a lime-ish type flavor, taste as well. And I'm just gonna like break it as well, sort of like bend it slightly so it actually releases the oil as well. You can get these in the shops, however, it's best to actually grow your own because obviously growing your own is as fresh as it can, and it's also, you know, medicinal as well, and just gives that flavor in the tom yum soup that you want to be looking for as well. So that's about 6 of each of these leaves that I've just put in the pot. Let that brew for a while. The other ingredients I have is tomatoes, slightly ripe tomatoes because you want it to cook quite nicely. I've got today not celery but pak choy. And these ones are just as fresh as well. It gives a nice flavor. You don't have to overcook them. So this one just about maybe a minute or so in the soup itself. So I'm going to add that last. I've got here carrots with the skin as well. And I've got also lady's fingers known as okra. I'm actually going to put that in towards the end as well. The okra, it's actually good for your joints as well. So if you're having any like joint pain, it's actually good for that as well. And look here, I've got a red onion, which I let grow slightly, and it's actually started to sprout as well. So that just shows that the onion is actually alive as well. So this is a really good one to have. I've got a couple of chilies here, dried chilies, red and green over here. And I've got mint again from my garden, fresh mint towards the end. And these are oyster mushrooms, very nice as well to put as a dish. And this one, I didn't manage to get shiitake mushrooms, so I've actually got what they call shimeji mushrooms, which are also Japanese type mushrooms. Again, very good for soups and things. And I've got a little bit of like a clementine type lime from my garden as well. That's going to add to the flavor. I've got 2 limes here, which I'm going to add. A couple of varied colored peppers, sweet peppers, yellow, orange, and red as well. You know me, I love my colors, so everything's going to be very colorful. And then we've got the onions, the shallots, and also garlic as well. Now this one, some people may not be aware, this is galangal, which is from the ginger family. That also is a common ingredient in the tom yum soup itself. And a few other bits. I've got obviously the lemongrass. This is the lemongrass here, which I'm going to add now to the soup itself. Lemongrass, you can't actually eat it as well. It's actually quite hard. I'm just going to like sort of break it so it actually releases the oils and the flavors as well.
Well, Chef Petrina, as
Yeah.
always,
Hi
your
there.
assistant is here
By all means,
to
yeah.
help you.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm just gonna
So we've got
break
bay
up
leaves in boiling water, along with lemongrass that you have
lemongrass
just broken,
and
so that the...
and kaffir lime as well.
Okay.
And then I've got spring onions. I've got this normal spring onions here. And I've also got these flat leaf chives, also give a slightly different flavor. Most of these ingredients you can actually buy from like the Oriental type shops. Okay, so we've got that. I'm going to cut up the carrots while waiting. So carrots, just chop them up very slightly.
Okay.
I normally eat the carrots with the skin because the nutrients are just under the skin. So just chop them up.
Absolutely, just wash them.
Wash
and
them, exactly.
They're ready to be used as they are.
Yes.
So less work for those that do not want to.
Less work and also less wastage, really. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. So the carrots, you just want to cube them up like that. Cube them up like that.
And they'll be ready to go into this
They will be, yeah.
looking soup. As you can see, look at the amount of colour and different textures and flavours that we've got going into this soup. Like, I don't need to taste it to know that this will be great.
Yeah. So I'm going to cut the onions now, or the shallots rather. So the shallots as well, just cut them into fine.
So Chef Petrina, okay, you're using shallots. Please tell me why not your standard onion? What differentiates this to a standard onion?
The shallots, you can use onions as well. In fact, I'm going to use that red onion which I showed you just now, this one. The shallots give a sort of like a sweeter flavor. So as you can see, I explained these red onions is actually alive as well. It started growing. So you can actually use everything as well. Just eat up everything. So yeah, the red onions and the shallots, they all have like a different type of flavor to it as well. Okay.
Absolutely, different uses, different flavours.
Okay, so I'm going to add the red onions into the soup now, together with the bits that I've grown. So you actually get all the flavor as well. Just get rid of these little bits here. Okay. So there you go. We're going to add that to the soup. Right. There you go. Now with the vegetables, you don't want to overcook the vegetables. So that's why you see that the water is not really like extremely boiling. It's just like on a low simmer. Going to add the mushrooms now. As mentioned, these are called shimeji mushrooms. They are like Japanese type mushrooms. Mushrooms are very high in B complex vitamins, so you can, have a lot of them. Some people don't like mushrooms, but you just have to learn to like eating them. And the texture is slightly a bit like meat, really. So vegetarians won't actually miss the flavor of meat if you want to replace that with mushrooms. I'm chopping up now the oyster mushrooms as well. Oyster mushrooms like that, it looks like an oyster basically. That's why it's called oyster mushrooms. And you just chop it up as well. As in the recipe, you can also use other mushrooms like button mushrooms if you want to, or shiitake mushrooms. So that's it. I'm going to add that to the bowl as well here. So you've got the bay leaves, the kaffir lime leaves, the onions, shallots. I'm going to cut in a bit of garlic as well now. And also, I'll throw in this. This is the little galangal type ginger to get flavor. It's a bit hard. Again, you can't actually eat it. You can actually eat it, but it's just a bit chewy. So this is just to get the ginger type flavor into the soup itself. Put that in. Chop up the onions, the garlic finely as well. And you can see from this dish, I'm actually not adding any oil itself. So those of you who are actually concerned about eating too much oil, there's actually no oil added to this soup itself.
So earlier you said those that might not like mushrooms. Who doesn't like mushrooms, chef? Mushrooms have the most delicious texture, flavour, and like you said, for those that are vegetarians, this is the closest it gets to meat, right?
Exactly. I've met some people who actually don't like mushrooms, so like I said,
let's
you just
not
have
talk to them.
Okay, definitely. So I'm going to add the chili as well. Chili, I'm just going to chop it in. So let me just get my spoon,
Okay, so we've got garlic
scissors.
going in.
Yeah, garlic,
Chef, shall I
shallots.
just have a stir?
Yeah, by all means. Yeah,
Shall
have
I
a stir.
This, yeah?
Stir this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. While you're stirring, I'm just going to chop
Oh, God. This
Again,
is smelling
chili.
great.
Chili is totally up to you if you want to have it spicy or not.
Yeah, keep putting them in. We love it. We love it. You just carry on.
Yes, yeah. Oh, yeah, so I'm going to add the seasoning now. The seasoning is made up of sea salt, turmeric, paprika.
Okay, perfect.
Basically, perfect stuff.
Oh, God, that was a lot of paprika.
It is, yeah.
Okay, that was a combination of spice. Okay, we didn't put just like turmeric all in, did we?
No, it's sea salt as
thank
well.
God for that.
So I'm going to chop up these slightly ripe tomatoes now. You want it slightly ripe because, you know, you just want the juices to come out, so.
We love that.
Yeah, tomatoes are very good for the, you know, for
lots of vitamin K.
Exactly. And it's also good for the heart as well, so.
Yeah, we want healthy hearts.
We do, yeah. So I said like a juicy tomato, chop it.
Yeah, this is lovely and juicy.
Yeah. Okay, could you open the
Absolutely,
pan?
Chef. That's what your assistant
There you
is here
go.
to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There you go. Now with the tom yum soup, there are also two different types. This one, I'm actually making a clear type of tom yum soup. However, you can also have like a creamier one where you can actually also add like coconut milk to it to make it slightly creamy. So it's totally up to you as well.
That's what I was going to mention.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Sometimes you do want something to be a bit more creamy, so you just suggest same recipe, but add
the coconut milk itself. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? That is great. I think that's something I'm certainly.
Yeah, there are some recipes which I've seen where they've actually added evaporated milk, but I won't actually recommend it because it's very too sweet. It's too processed, so I wouldn't recommend that. So let me just put another.
We would stop at coconut milk.
Exactly. We'll add the coloured peppers in now. The peppers will give it slightly of a sweetish taste. So the tom yum soup is mainly a mixture of, you know, sweetish, salty, sour taste.
And just like standard kitchen ingredients.
Yes.
So I think a few. I know in my house for sure there are days where you look into the kitchen, you open the fridge and you find a mix of vegetables.
Yes.
This is like the ideal dish to bring them all together.
That's
so you've
right.
got, like, let's just say a pepper. You may have a couple of tomatoes. Always we've got ginger and garlic, and we've also got some okra in there as well, which is lady's fingers.
Yes.
So that's it. Bring it all in, and you will not regret it.
Definitely. And this is a way to actually eat all the multicolored variety of vegetables as well.
I think Meghan Markle, eat your heart out. This is a rainbow of vegetables instead of fruits that she.
That's right, yeah. And you can see
was making.
Yeah, the peppers, you can also get it in green. I didn't get the green ones because we've already got the green from the pak choy.
Yeah.
So just a multicolored, and also the green from the okra as well. So,
God, this is really.
So look at the colors. And as I mentioned before, I'm not boiling the soup as such. It's just like a mild, slow cook.
Interesting.
So the pak choy is to replace the celery. You can have both. It's just that I couldn't find organic celery. Went to a few shops this time, couldn't find it.
I just find that pak choy is slightly milder and a bit sweeter.
Yes, it is.
Right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So the pak choy as well, just put a few leaves inside as well. The stalk is probably needs a bit more, not really much, probably like a minute or so to actually cook. So if you're adding it, I would add the leaves a bit later. So we'll just add that in as well.
Do you know there may be viewers that haven't chopped this many vegetables in their lives?
Yeah.
I certainly do that because I love my vegetables. Team. So let's get more of vegetables into our food, viewers. I think this might be a horror story for my children, but no, you need to have more vegetables.
Yeah. So we've also got this one, which is the spring onions. again, they don't need to be cooked too much. So I'm just
So
add
we've got spring onions, and did you say we've got chives as well?
Yes, it's flat leaf chives.
Flat leaf chives.
So yeah, spring onions as usual. I've managed to get it with the roots itself. So gonna just replant that, and you can just have spring onions for a bit longer rather than having to go shopping all the time. So these are the flat leaf chives.
Absolutely.
Again, it doesn't really need cooking. It's just towards the end.
It just adds a nice blend of flavour.
It does, yeah, it does. So towards the end, I'm going to also add the okra.
And this is quite seasonal as well, isn't it, Chef?
It
when
is.
do we tend to find this?
Like now, really. Now we are in April, so it's going to pine now. The okra, because it's fairly fresh, I'm actually also going to eat the ends as well. Most people that tend to cut off the ends, but that can be edible as well. So you just want to chop it up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen with aubergine, but never with okra.
Yeah. So just chop it.
Not sure?
Yeah. About 3 of those. It'll actually give like a good. It just soaks up the soup very well as well. So that's it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Chef, this is something I'm really enjoying. No doubt that our viewers are enjoying this as well.
Yeah.
If you are, why don't you tell us? We want to hear from you. What other recipes do you want to see Chef Petrina cook?
Okay. Just going to add slightly higher now. Good.
Absolutely. So should you have any questions for our chef, is there any particular questions that you have around ingredients or ways to cook? We want to hear from you. Salam Britain, absolutely. Details are on our screen. Get in contact with Chef and we'll have your questions answered.
Okay, so I'm going to add this little orange, I think it's called like a clementine type. So it's just,
is it a clementine
seeds.
or is it a bit more?
It's more like a little orange. I can't remember what it's called, but I'm just going to remove the seeds. You can see it's like a very small orange. I'm also going to cut this lime as well. So that will give like a, the tangy flavor, orangey flavor, yeah.
You know, sometimes only lime can do with recipes,
so
right?
I'm just going to squeeze
it has a distinctive taste.
And you can also just put that in so that all the oils from the skin as well will actually absorb in. Obviously, you won't eat it, but it's just going to be half all.
No doubt, it adds to the flavour.
So there you go. Yeah.
Oh, yum, yum, yum.
There you go. So we're going to just let that simmer for a while, and then towards the last, I'm just going to add some
thick, rich soup.
Yeah, thick, rich soup. Yeah. So these are mint as well, mint for the garden. You can add coriander, you can add like parsley just to garnish it as well towards the soup. However, so mint is fine.
Mint, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
These garnishes.
So you can see it's all very colourful. This one would probably serve about maybe 3 or 4 people.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Huge bowls. Obviously, you're going to taste.
If you're like me, who's very hungry. Chef Petrina knows exactly what's happening to the soup after we finish.
Yeah. So. A lot of people, they tend to say we're coming towards like summertime, it's hot, and why do you want to have soup? Because it's hot as well. However, in the hotter months, or if you're living in a country with warmer climates, we tend to sweat a lot, and we are losing the hydration. So this is a good way to actually keep yourself hydrated through food rather than drinking water. Because again, I've met people who said drinking water is boring, so why not add it to your meals?
Absolutely, and you're so right. Sometimes on a hot summer day, you don't want something too heavy, too stodgy. So a soup, especially like this, which is full of nutrients, full of textures, flavors, can be the perfect supper or lunch.
Yeah, and tom yum soup is something that people tend to drink it on its own. Well, with the other soups, you tend to want to eat it with, say, noodles or bread. But this is a soup you can actually have it on its own. However, if you still want that carbohydrates and things, you can still have it with noodles and
or just have a slice of bread next to it.
Yes.
I think we have got the ingredients that will come up on this, and I'll go through them for our viewers. So what you will need is a litre of mineral water. You've got a couple of stalks of lemongrass, oyster mushrooms, which is what we just saw. Absolutely. So along with some bay leaves, though they're not supposed to be eaten, it definitely adds to the flavour. Organic celery or pak choi, which is what we saw earlier. Shallots, garlic, 1 red onion, a small red pepper, small yellow pepper, a small carrot with or without the skin on. We heard from Chef that having the skin on just adds to the flavor, less work, less waste. So we had some chilies, add it to your liking. I certainly like mine. We had 3 or 2 large tomatoes. We had some spring onions, some flat chives. We had a teaspoon of turmeric powder, some sea salt, along with some lime. And then lastly, as a garnish and just to add to the colour, you can add some mint leaves, coriander or parsley. I would say stick to the coriander. I prefer coriander.
So you can see the soup is really nice. I've turned the heat down. You can have a stir.
Wow.
Yeah.
Chef, it's starting to just be perfectly right.
Yes, and you know, as I mentioned, the vegetables don't need to be overcooked because you want to actually be able to have the nutrients as well, not destroyed in the vegetables.
Yeah, we do not want to destroy that. Chef, are you ready to serve?
Yes, I'm ready to serve, so I'm just going to put it in this bowl now. The heat is turned off, so I'm just going to add the soup and the bits that I know can be eaten. There might be some like the lemongrass, which you may not have to eat it. So that's a good portion. Some of the bay leaves have gone in as well. However, you can just remove them and ensure you don't eat them.
Absolutely.
So that's really a nice, hearty, colourful meal full of all the other ingredients.
So, Chef, tell me if I'm right. Let's just recap what we just saw.
Yeah.
We boiled our water, added our
bay leaves and kaffir lime leaves.
Absolutely.
And then I've added the onions, shallots, the red onions as well.
Just one after another?
Exactly, yeah.
Beautiful.
Then chopped up the vegetables like the carrots, the tomatoes, the pak choy, and then added the galangal, which is this one here. Galangal is like a ginger.
Tell me how that differs to ginger in terms of flavour.
Yeah, it's got a slightly sort of like bitterish, sourish taste rather than ginger is a bit more like pungent, spicy. So yeah, it's just something that they use it more in tom yum soup.
And again, it can be found in Oriental.
Can be found, yeah. It's from the ginger family as well. And then I've got obviously the mushrooms, oyster mushrooms. You can select any mushrooms that you like as well.
Absolutely, mild ones.
Mild ones, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
All depends on your taste. And obviously the pak choy and lemons, limes, or both really.
What I would certainly do is just sprinkle on some more
lime
of
juice
course,
by all means.
Before I would have that,
by all means.
Some extra vitamin C.
Yeah, by all means.
And what happened to our... great minds think alike. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Our mint leaves are being added, not just for beauty, but
for
also
flavour as well.
Exactly, flavour and taste.
So just
Chef, where's my spoon?
Oh, your spoon. I've got even a bowl for you.
Ooh,
bowl, yeah.
Okay.
So you can have that.
It'd be wrong to make something like this during Ramadan. Every time Chef was cooking, I was craving the delicious food you were cooking. So I'm certainly going to dip into this delicious soup. Okay, have the vegetables. Okay, where are my mushrooms? Where are my mushrooms?
Might still be in the pot. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, so gorgeous. Where are my mushrooms? I found some.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let me know how you enjoy it.
Okay. Bismillah. Yeah. Okay.
Just be careful. It might be very hot in terms of heat. Yeah. So.
Yum.
Yum.
Absolutely. So refreshing. Full of flavour.
Yeah.
The lime is there. And thank God I had my mushroom as well.
Oh, good. You found it. Yeah. So this is something, if you want to prepare this soup earlier, you can actually do it as well. You can keep it in the fridge or you freeze it if you want to and then add your ingredients in. However, making it fresh is really the best thing that you could do. And you can see I've actually taken just literally less than 15 minutes or so to actually prepare everything from scratch.
What is the excuse, viewers? What is the excuse? 15 minutes to get delicious soup like this on the table. No doubt you'll serve like a family of 4.
Yeah.
Add some sliced bread to it. That is supper sorted.
Yes.
Okay. That is certainly quicker than any delivery platform can get your food out to you.
Yeah, and definitely when you cook it fresh, it's ready to serve immediately rather than wait for the delivery to you know.
Arrive, it's hot, it is tasty, it is ingredients that are in your fridge, in your kitchen, no doubt.
Yeah.
I think no excuse.
Yeah.
So tom yum soup, delicious as it is. You can have
you can have
coconut
meat
milk.
as well, or coconut milk as well.
Yeah,
if you want
what
to add
meat
like
would you add?
chicken, or the normal ingredients would normally be prawns or chicken. Or you can even add beef if you want to as well. So it's totally up to
Would
you.
that add to the cooking time?
If you have like chicken that's well prawns take just a few minutes to cook,
Okay.
or less anyway. Chicken, if it's raw chicken, I would say fry the chicken first so that it's already cooked, and then when it's in the meat. Or if you have like leftover chicken from a roast, for example, you can actually just peel the chicken meat and just add it to the dish.
Okay, prawn is the meat of my choice.
Good.
Chef, thank you so much for being with us. That is delicious. Viewers, inspiration for you. Try it at home. Send us your pictures. Let us know what else you would like to see. And then ending up with lovely Chef Petrina, who showed us a soup that was delicious. Viewers, you must try it. The flavors are still in my mouth. So.